Good evening all. How are we doing? I hope we're all doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've got ourselves a new week of daily races. And we've still got ourselves a naughty little pooch over here. Are you coming to say hi, bird? Come on in. Come on in. Yes, there he is. Can everyone see him? Look this way. Look at the camera. Can you see the camera? Nope, he's not having it. He's doing slightly better today, over the weekend, aren't you? You're such a good boy. But he's still a little bit nervous. And Layla's gone out, so he's stressing now. Now that it's just me and him. But, yeah, I'm going to probably open the door and just let him go out, which might not be a good idea. I don't know, actually. I'm going to let him out. 2 minutes. So we're going to do this race with, ending up doing this race with no practice whatsoever. Right, are you going to go out for a wee? You better come back in though. Because the door's not going to be open for you. Oh my god, right. I'm going to have to leave that door open for him. Just so that he does hopefully come back in. But he keeps going to the back door because he thinks that Layla's just going to let him in a moment. So, right, let's start on the mediums then. We do have to use both racing tyres. And tyre wear is pretty high. It's at ×4. So, I think we'll get, my guess, because this is a very, very high tyre deg circuit. My initial guesses, but I haven't done any practice or races on this yet, is that we'll maybe get half of the race done on the softs, and I think at that point it's maybe his crossover, probably 1 or 2 more laps. If anybody has seen any of the races, daily races yet, let me know if I'm anywhere near close, because that's what I'm thinking for this race. But he's going to come back in with horrible, dirty paws. Buddy! Bird! I don't think he's coming back in. Right, so brake balance all the way to the rear. We are in the new Porsche. The new Porsche. But I haven't driven it yet. Literally not driven it. I've got absolutely no clue what this car's like, how good it is, strength and weaknesses, all that sort of stuff. Initial thoughts on the medium, second gear there, seemed like that was pretty planted. Apparently I ignored the track limit. I don't know where I did do that. I genuinely don't know where I did do that. Unless I was being a bit silly. Which is very likely. So I do think that they have sorted the track limit issues around here. Well, there is a bit of contact. It's not. There's no almost about it. There is contact from behind there. Inside bollard. Oh, possibly then, yeah, on like the last corner or before the start. Maybe. Just a little bit too deep there. This is the one that we've got to be careful on. I will say that if I start hearing a dog screaming or barking, then I'll be going to get him. Oh, track limits again on this one, so this is going to be a real struggle then. Everything that everybody learned of this track the first time that this daily came up was that you cut every corner, or you ran wide. It wasn't necessarily cutting corners, it was running wide at every given chance. And now there's no more of that. I can't be track limits there, I don't think, then. Surely that one is the second white line. Oh my god, it's not. Turns out it's not. Alrighty then. Well, I would have assumed that that one was the second white line. So lap times this time around for everybody's going to be very different, aren't they? Worked very hard, I assume, to keep that in those white lines there. My fault. Absolutely my fault. Absolutely my fault. Absolutely my fault. I take full responsibility for that one. I don't think that we can argue with that. That one was absolutely all my fault. Yeah, that was... I mean, at least it was good sportsmanship, sort of, to stop and give them the place back. But that is about it. Everything else of that was absolutely horrendous. I tell you what, though, you can see why this car straight away has become one of the top cars. I was just going to say the back end grip, but then I've gone and pushed that a little bit too far by thinking that there was more there than there actually was. We will absolutely call this the practice race, because this is what I absolutely wanted to do before I came on the stream. But I didn't end up having time. But we'll blame the dog for that. He's still out in the garden, but I don't know what he's doing now. Buddy! Buddy! He's not having it. He's still getting used to the place as well. He's been lush over the weekend, but it has meant absolutely no sleep. He's still not coming back in. Feels like short shifting is a little bit quicker there. I might be wrong. Burnley, Sunderland. Sunderland, you would probably think is going to do it, wouldn't you? Yeah, I had my braking point all wrong on that last lap, because I was braking at the 100 board. And we done 150 there and just managed to make it. So that's totally my fault. You can see that I tried to move out the guy's way, by the way, the Frenchman that we hit there as well. But yeah, lessons learned. This is where on the last lap I said, oh, the back end of this car is tremendous. Lots of rear end grip, and then went and butchered it. So, lessons learnt there. Oh, you end up being so cautious there. Well, this is a bit of an embarrassing way to learn the race, I'll be honest with you. Could have done with doing this race off the stream, shouldn't I? Yeah, Sunderland's got to win it, I would think. Oh, you're thinking Burnley's going to win 2-0? You would, I don't know, you would assume Sunderland would have it, but to be honest with you, every time that I bet on any football match, I always end up getting the score wrong, so I've just stopped now. So I assume then, because you can't run wide like you could there on the last one, it's now worth doing a bit more of a V-cut on that corner than we did before. Burnley 3 draws, Man United, Liverpool and Spurs. Fair, yeah, is that the last 3 games as well or not? Who knows? It's Sunderland anyway, so I should be rooting for Burnley really, but if I was putting money on it and I really wanted to win money, I might go draw. 2-2 draw. That's going to be my suggestion. See if that one's chat limits there, because if not, that's quite nicely done, I would think. Oh, it's way too far there. That one definitely going to be chat limits. That one also definitely going to be chat limits. No doubt about that. How's that not track limits? Wow, you talk about inconsistency. How is that not track limits there? Can I just ask? So I imagine this one now, you're better off going, maybe it's not as deep as I have just done there, but good boy, look at that, see, he's come back in now. Probably after he's caked himself in there. Stood all over his own poo. Oh, he's trying to work at the little magnetic fly net thing. Oh, he's gone back out, fair enough. I think he's just gone, came in to check that I was still here. What a good dog. Sunderland's lost the last 4 or 5. I'm still going off the fact that they reckoning they were contending for Champions League. I've managed to catch all the Newcastle games, but then I'll be honest, I've dropped off with what everyone else has done in the Premier League, other than knowing Arsenal surely now at this point cannot throw it away. They cannot bottle it again. Surely not. Brilliant. Well, that's not how you do the pit stop at Yas Marina. That will also cost you quite a lot of time. Yep, that's not good. Fair enough. Let's keep going. Let's call this a learning curve. A big one at that. Cutting pit lines. Well, I obviously didn't mean it, but never mind. So far behind. This is now not quali practice, but just practice. So if anyone would like to take a guess on what our lap in blue this time will be, because it'll not go purple because we're in a race. Oh, look at that plane flying over the top of us there. That's not distracting. If you want to take a guess at what our lap in blue will be, then please do so. And if you guessed that correctly, to all 3 decimal places, free t-shirt from the merch store. Links in the description for that. Yeah, another track limits penalty. I might as well just go and find all of the track limits so that I know what not to do in the next race. John saying 55, treble 6. That'll be track limits as well then. So it's basically all the first white lines now, which it never was initially, was it? When this track, sorry, first got added to the game. So now it's basically, now I'm extra slow because I'm taking the lines into corners that I was taking before. I mean, it's still taking me a little while to get up to speed. But then I'm having to brake even more and stop yourself from going now what is beyond track limits, which it wasn't before. So this one, for example, you used to go really tight and then early on the power and run all the way out wide there. And now you do not want to do that. And I think V-cutting that one maybe is better. If you get a lap in blue without a penalty, yeah, exactly. Man, trying very hard to stay in the lines. Right, that's a 59.122. Surely we can do better than that. Oh, track limits on that one as well. This is such a killer, this is. This is actually very difficult. Oh, there we go. Right, 55.461. What did you say, John? 55.6 something. 666. Yeah. Oh, we've beaten that by a couple of tenths, thankfully. But fastest lap is still a 154, so I've got a long way to go just yet. 55 treble 3. Right, that's the improved time that we've got to do. So the tyre wear around here is not as bad as I thought it would be. We've not been particularly quick, but we've definitely... we'll have definitely used up quite a bit of tyre life in all of the outbraking and understeer and then oversteer that I've done. But I'm wondering if we can do a few more laps on these soft tyres in the next race. Probably do quite a few more, I think. Too far again. Another penalty. Another day, another lap, another penalty. One minute down to the leader. This could definitely be going a lot better than it is, couldn't it? Without doubt, this could be going a bit better. That can't be track limits there, because there's no way that all four wheels could be off the track at the same time. Oh my god, it is! How? How? There is no way that all four wheels are off that track at the same time. I want to watch the replay. I refuse to believe it. Everybody must be getting caught out. I mean, you can see the field spread. And I'm going to guess half of that is down to where people have dropped off with penalties. If they're also doing this race for the first time. Because the first few laps, I would have still been racing this like the way that we were on the night it got released and added into the game, which was second white line on pretty much every corner. And yet we've cut that corner just underneath the, or before we get into the, underneath the actual bridge section. I forget what that's called now, what the name word is that I'm trying to look for. And we cut that corner and we didn't get a penalty for that, so I can't really work this out. Like that, you've just got to go really deep into that corner, tight into that corner, I think. Get slowed down quickly, tight in. I've literally had a penalty in every single one of these laps, I think. .155 is my quickest lap, and I think that's because that's the only lap where I haven't had a penalty. I just refuse to believe that that is cutting all four wheels, because not all four wheels can be off the corner at the same time. Again, that's actually... Nah, I refuse to believe that. Obviously, everybody's going to be getting stung with the same penalties, but... I just don't really think that that's very good. See, we can cut that one. That one feels like that would have been wide as well. We've not quite cut that. I don't think would have been all four wheels off that corner. They're all for... Oh, my God. See, then you don't know which corner you've got that penalty for. Race B, anyone? Yeah, you'd think. I'll be so much better off with that. I'm halfway to being lapped at the end of this race after just 12 laps. That is so bang out of order. I'm actually going to just purposely take this one so slow. Because that is what I was trying to do. That cannot be a penalty. Would this be a penalty coming all the way off here? I'm going to guess. My God. Oh my God. I tried to spin the car around from first gear from standing and it's just got so much good traction it wouldn't even spin. They've broke it more, yeah. It feels like it. I just want to like really take the mick on kind of every... I just want to find where it's given penalties for, basically. Timed me out of the race. Timed me out of the race. Rob, how we doing? Hope we're all well. That's outrageous, that. We're not even going to have time to go back in. We might have to take a gap to do some qualifying, I think. Yeah, I find that absolutely bizarre that that's so strict in the way that it is on those penalties. Right, in this gap here, I'm going to see if I can very quickly go recover a dog who might have got lost somewhere in our garden. 2 minutes. Look at this guy. We have got... Can you see? And we have got a very wet pooch. Because he's been out in the rain, standing at the back door. Now, it wasn't raining when I let you out, but it started raining. So he stood in the rain at the back door, like a right big dafty, haven't you? Huh? Yeah? Because you're trying to find Layla, aren't you? But she's gone to work. Hasn't she? So now he's just going to go to sleep here, I think. Right, come on. Look. Good boy, lie down. Buddy, come here. Oh my god, he's straight back to the back door. Buddy, come here. Lie down. Bed. Bed. I give up. I give up with this pooch. I give up. Buddy, you can't just... Oh my god, he's absolutely soaking now. Jesus. Oh dear. Out of the water. If you want your water, look, your water's there, look. You can see your water, Dafty. You can see your water. I might actually see if you'll go in the house. Oh. Go on, in your bed. In your bed. Good boy. I might actually see if you... So we've not been able to leave him alone, right? So every time we walk out the room, he like skitzes and jumps up on the walls and doors and stuff. I might see if I can just leave him in the house. Because he went up on his own accord earlier today, because he's a very good boy. And then I found him just asleep in the bedroom. Oh my god, he's gonna try and sit underneath my legs. You can't see it now. He's gonna try and sit underneath my legs in the race rig. What are you doing in there? You can't get in there. Right, okay, here we go. Here we go. Thankfully, no Mr. Whippy doggies, Mr. Whippies, yeah. Thankfully not. Right, here we go then. Starting on the softs because I had no chance to change tyres, but might give me a chance to try and make some moves in this race. Oh my god, he's literally resting his head on my leg now. Good boy, bud. Oh, he's gone. That's why I don't own a dog. Oh my god, that's a penalty as well. Hello, bud. Oh no, hello. Look what we're trying to do. We're trying to race. And look what you're trying to do. Ruin it. Oh, over the dog's head. Good boy. Oh, not a good boy actually, but look what we're trying to do. Look how wet you are after rain. Huh? You stink. You stink of wet dog. Good boy. He didn't like that, did he? Told him the truth. Just because he's cute doesn't mean you can't stink. Just because you're cute. Yes, you are. I'll tell you what's not cute is that 1 minute penalty. Oh, buddy, please just go in your bed. Please just go in your bed. Oh, he's back again. No, he's gone. Now he's running out. Buddy, down. He's finally settled. Oh, and then he heard me talking about him. Right, well, this is not going very well because we're on the soft tyres and we've not made any progress, although that penalty didn't help us, did it? Please get slowed down. Struggling. Struggling. Try to have a look round the outside of that one there. It was never quite going to work, was it? Not when we had this chap behind us going for a massive launch from quite a distance back. Just managed to get around that there. Good, down. Good boy. I'm so sorry, Bullet. I genuinely thought I was going to stop there. I genuinely thought the car was going to get slowed down there. Oh my gosh, my fault again. My fault again. My fault, my fault. track limits for that last corner is an absolute killer. Because you get so used to having driven that, even though I've only done a couple of races on this circuit, and then you're just picking up penalties and you don't know where they're from. This is the problem. Some of the corners that you think you are being fine, or in the last time that you raced it, they were absolutely fine, and then now, not so much. This is frustrating, this, because when I've not been losing a shed load of time in all these different places, I have actually been keeping kind of, still losing a bit of time, but kind of keeping tack on the leader. There's some corners where I'm massively slow, and some not too bad. Gap down from 10.5, whatever it was, to 9.9 there now. We're soon going to lose a lot of time here. What a killer. What an absolute killer. I literally have no idea now. I literally have no idea. That one there, I wasn't paying enough attention to even know where that one came from, I think. More laps on these soft tyres. It's hard to really judge the pace when you're getting a penalty every lap and you can't really see the lap times unless you get the exact same penalty every lap. Makes it a bit difficult to compare. There's literally more penalties than laps in this race. We've got 12 laps in total. We've only done 6 laps, but I think I've had more than 12 laps worth of penalty. Oh my god, there's another one! Right, that one, I think I know where that one came from. I would say that one was fair enough, but I don't think, it didn't feel like we got that penalty on the last race, which is why I started cutting that corner a bit tighter. Oh my god, honestly. Right, one more lap. This is awful. Look at that, this was the race leader, and he's ended up with 3 seconds worth of penalties. That's a track limits cut lane penalty. What am I trying to say? Cutting the entry of the pit lane, I think, normally. I got hit from behind there, which then put me into the back of the leader. Or he was the leader anyways, he's obviously not the leader now. Oh! That was one really big drift, that was. Right, onto the mediums. This is such a difficult race, this. So difficult. It kind of zaps the fun out of it, though, I guess, in some regards. In some respects, because you're just forever worried about the track limits penalties, but then it does open it up that if you really, really, I guess, take your time, then the people ahead end up with maybe even more. So now we're out on the mediums, 15 seconds off the lead of the race. I think he has pitted. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't, I don't know. That must be by literally an pixel, as Clarkson would say. A single pixel that has to be out by, and no more. It literally can't be any more. That one will be a penalty, I assume. Right, okay. I had a feeling there that last corner might have been just a bit too close. Trying to be super aggressive on the lines. Difficult track to overtake this, but very easy track to get a penalty on. And to be honest with you, if we just didn't get any penalties, God knows where we'd be, a lot further up the grid. Sunderland's leading 1-0. Well, there we go. I am correct so far, although I did end up saying a draw. John convinced me to say a draw once he told me, give me some stats. My gut feeling of Sunderland winning was right so far. 1-0. Right, we're going to get... Oh, I was going to say we might still get past the Dutch driver there, but we're both serving what was a 1 second penalty, and now I've been handed another half second, which we serve at the same time, and we are back to the back of the grid. Once again, it's pretty boring back here, though, I've got to say. And everybody, actually, do you know what? Everybody's SR will be taking an absolute hammering here. Another half second for us. Another half second. I thought I had that under control there. Everything about that suggested I had it under control. This is a killer, this. This is a killer. I'm now going to go and exceed every single track limit to find out which ones they actually penalise you for. Because as we see there, we've ran extra wide on the entry of that previous corner, and we've not got a penalty there. So I don't get that, because we've gone all 4 wheels over the first white line. So it's like that one I can't quite work out then. That'll be a penalty, I would guess, so. Yeah, that one is. I've got a jet. Oh my god, there we go. Another half second. This is what absolutely kills your race, is that even if you've got a half second, it becomes immediately a 2-second penalty for the length of time that you're serving it, and then the amount of time that you actually lose. I reckon for track limits especially, I think it should just be accumulated and added on to the end of the race. I think there are some penalties that's worth giving you a in-race penalty, like for example colliding with a car, forcing another car off track, all that sort of stuff. Or I think you maybe get, if you are going to get a penalty for track limits, you have to have 1 or 2 strikes first, don't you? Then again, everyone will absolutely use the 1 or 2 strikes and then race from then onwards, I guess. But I just think if we have accumulated penalties at the side there, you see, just under fastest lap, if we have another box there that is like accumulated penalties, track limits penalties, then the couple of half seconds that you get, especially in a race like this, when half the time it's a mistake, it's not even, oh my god, there you go again, it's not even a mistake. Or it's not even that you're doing it deliberately, sorry, it is that it's a genuine mistake. You're not gaining time, because in some of them we've ran wide and lost time. Track limits, I mean, this is honestly trash. As Cheech says, track limits, trash. How we doing, Cheech? Hope we're all good. Hope your day is going better than what my race is. I'm just going to take the mic now. Deliberately. We're going to end up with an SR disaster class here, by the way. I wanted to see if this gave you a penalty, because this one I don't understand, but maybe they've not programmed it into this one. right there. Like this one here, I ran wide that corner in the last one of the last laps, and it didn't give me a penalty for that. There you go, it's giving me a penalty now. It didn't give me a penalty before. Ugh, how annoying. How annoying. I'm going to throw the biggest hissy fit over this in a moment. Oh my god. Now the game has crashed. And if that goes down, the game's crashed. If that goes down as me having rage quit, I'm going to be fuming. Gran Turismo, trash. Gran Turismo at the moment can definitely get in the bin. Yeah, this is really annoying. It's PS5, trash. Sony, trash. We're not going to manage to get in at this rate here. We're going to end up missing the next race. Having to restart this. Come on. I don't know if that's the new update making it a bit more unstable. £50 a year for these servers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at that. Our SR has absolutely tanked. We're down to BSR, which is a shambles, which puts you in an even worse lobby, which is then even more difficult to fix and get ourselves out of. Let's try and get one lap in here, if this is even enough time. It's not... Oh my god, there you go. Immediately I've clicked the wrong thing, so we're going to lose time. We're not going to get onto track and get our lap done in time. Yeah, it shouldn't lose SR for track limits. They've already gave out the penalty. Exactly, but then it's basically any and all penalties that affects your SR. Which really is a killer. That there, we were literally, that was giving us track limits in the race. I refuse to believe that that is track limits. I refuse to believe that that is... See if we can watch this replay. Surely we can see this replay. Unless I'm being an idiot here. This cannot be track limits. Yeah, that might be track limits. You can't do the photo to go around the car, but I would never have thought that that would have been track limits. But I don't think... You can't see around the car, but the front wheel has to be... We'll find out when we watch the replay of the next race, maybe. Honestly, horrific. Right, starting on the mediums this time. let's see who else is on mediums and whatnot. So pretty much everybody, the front runners, everyone is starting on the mediums. So we might as well, and I'm being serious here, surely, I don't know, surely we might as well start on the softs. Surely we might as well start on the softs. I'm too late though. Let's go again. Right. Third attempt. Both of the first races we started at the back, raced at the back, stayed at the back, and ended up getting so many penalties that we've almost been timed out. In fact, we were timed out to even cross the line by the time everybody else up front had done so. Can this one be any better? Predictions in. We can see that some people are starting to have a look at different cars. I think they're starting to realise that no matter what car you're in, you can just beat people by tiptoeing around and not keeping it within track limits, not getting any penalties. Predictions in then. What do we think from P14 in this one we can honestly do? If we just be sensible, you can see, or we'll start to see, everybody will be avoiding the white lines like the plague, and I think that's what we're going to have to start doing here. Starting on the medium tyres, everybody is on the mediums as we saw. And it is so mad how your entry to corners and your general approach to a corner changes so much once track limit rules are changed, because as we see with this one, I do think that this is better to just V-cut that corner. You used to be best off going really, really tight to the corner and running out wide because you had just an infinite amount of time to gain by running wide, getting your foot down really early on the power. You gain that back now by V-cutting the corner. Oh, if I had known that if I had known those guys were gonna ghost the way that they just did there, I'd have approached that corner totally differently. That might be a penalty for running wide there. We got a little bit of contact in the chicane there from the Frenchman behind. He gets a penalty either for that contact or for a track limits penalty of his own. Haven't lift there so that we don't just wipe out the Audi as he cuts across in front of us, entitled to do so because he is in front. Track limits again there, but I genuinely thought that I was okay on that one. I genuinely thought I was okay on that one. It is so difficult to race this and know if you're clear on track limits. A little bit of contact there, but luckily we both get through the corner. I'll bump draft him on the next one as an apology. Maybe I'll just not bump into him again. He's gone for a bit of a dive there. He's gone for it. Right, our first penalty of the race. No doubt not our last. Going to be served after this chicane. Brake at 150, just nice and easy here. Just get through the corner. Get through it safe. Come on. on that basis, that one will be a penalty again there. Yeah. Annoying, but I accept that one now. That's fine. That one there, I don't think I know where that one's come from. Genuinely, I don't think I know where that one's come from. Unless I'm missing something really obvious there. Worse than the Red Bull Ring. Yeah, exactly. Track limits here basically decides the race. It's got nothing to do with who is the quickest. It's just who cannot pick up the most penalties. Right, another set of penalties here. This is 1 second worth of penalties made up of 2 half-second track limits. Yet again. That one definitely is track limits. I've just ran wide there. Stupid that. Really, really stupid that. Yeah, that one's fair enough. Oh, this is so frustrating. Oh, another penalty. Oh, that might be it there as well. Oh, I came off the power and then the car gripped way more than I was expecting it to. Right, that one there, I've been pushed off. Contact from behind. I cannot get a penalty for that, surely. Yeah, thankfully I don't. I was going to say, that would be one of the final straws, that would be. Yeah, cheat the chicane, invite contact, then cut. Yeah. So that's another 2 track limits penalties there. You can see, look at that, that's an entire pack of cars, all just served. That was 4 people there, all serving the same penalty. That is absolutely mental. But it just shows how much everybody's getting caught out with this. And I wouldn't mind, I don't mind harsh track limits penalties, but it's when we've got so used to racing it a certain way, and then now you're getting caught out by racing what was essentially perfectly fine a couple of weeks ago. One more on the mediums. Although I probably could pit now, I think. And I would have been alright. Right, that cannot be a penalty at all for the last corner. We've got to be fine there, yeah? Looks like it. not cutting that corner. Oh, you idiot. You absolute idiot. So close to actually having a good race there as well. So close to actually managing a good race there. Oh, damn it! Yeah, soft first might be the way to go for the slipstream. Yeah, I think if everybody, in this case here, everybody was going on the medium first, I'd have probably been better off on the soft tyres to start with, I think. Doesn't matter though, because I've binned it and ruined the race anyway, so... Another race hardly worth doing, this one. This one was the one that felt like it was going to be a good race. We were hanging on to the back of the pack in front. Everyone's still to do their pit stops, all that sort of stuff. Not quite going to happen. Might be track limits there actually. Yeah, I'm going to accept that one, that's fine. That is fair enough. There's no doubt in how good this car is around here, though, as long as you actually drive to the track limits, because the grip from this car in this balance of power or balance of performance on this particular track, this car is immense. Just the rear grip, the traction is tremendous. So there's no doubt that on a track like this, this car is so good and so popular. I'm sure that they'll absolutely nerf it eventually once everybody starts using this car, which a lot of them already are. My goal is to not get a track limits penalty in this one then. messed that corner up again. How can I be so bad? Right, 55. It's still 1 second off the fastest guys in the lobby. Now I'm even more frustrated because I'm watching that time to the leader there, which is obviously a massive gap of 17 seconds. But you know what? There's so many corners and parts of this track where actually we're gaining time. And you know that he's on the same tyres as us because everybody did mediums and then softs. Right, I reckon the next race has to be a good one. We can't have done this many races. I think this is our third now, being at the back the entire race. Now this one we weren't necessarily due to be at the back the entire race because we were doing alright, but until we binned it. Track limits there. Probably is. Yep, certainly is. Track limits there, potentially again. Track limits definitely there, I would have said. We got Bullet in front of us. Oh, he's rage quit. How can we be this bad at this race? Really doesn't matter when you're last already, does it? Tragic. Tragic. Man, right, okay, another race. We've got to do another race. It's crashed again. What is going on with this game today? Honestly, look at that. No matter what I do, it's crashed again. Honestly. Where do you even begin? Where do you even begin? Not enough time to even complete one single lap as well. I have to work pretty hard on the quali time around here, I think. Do you know what? Actually, I bet you most people will not have a decent quali time for this reason, because they'll just be jumping into the race like I normally do and not doing any quali or setting aside some proper time. I mean, a 52 is still a rapid, quick lap. Look at that. I think I'd be lucky to get a 54. Where would that put me? 900. Not even in the top 900. I don't even think 900 people play Gran Turismo. Never mind being in the top 900. A low 54 is probably where I think I could or want to be. You can see G's got that there actually. 54.1, something like that. Don't think I would manage to get into the 53s. I think I would just struggle in general for that. What do we think for this race coming up then? I probably want to do the medium tyres again to start with. But then everybody is doing that, and so it becomes a little bit tricky. But I think if you can just not get penalties, you'll be alright. Easier said than done. Considering I've had more penalties than I've had hot dinners at this rate. Oh dear. Dear, dear, dear. Let's do some gossip, by the way. I seen today, I don't know if it's true, it looks as if it might be some sort of hoax, but I can't quite work it out, that Lewis Hamilton is seeing Kim Kardashian. Just when you think it couldn't get any worse. Imagine the sight of that on the grid. On Brundle's grid walk. Ha! Imagine. There was a great clip of David Coulthard in commentary. So it must be a Channel 4 commentary, but I think it's Christina Aguilera is waving the checkered flag, and she stood at the side of the race, just like cars flying past, and she's just like not arsed. And David Coulthard in the middle of commentary, like, so we got the cars going round, blah blah blah. We got this doing that. You might go for the undercut and da 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 da. And there's Christina Aguilera pretending to look interested in Formula One. And that will be Kim Kardashian, anyways, I'm sure. Right. Let's go mediums again. I feel like let's do mediums again. I can't believe, by the way, how many people that we know are in this lobby. All people who are very quick drivers. We're going to end up being an SR of B rated soon enough. Sorry, a DR of B rated. We've already got BSR. Deary me. You've seen the Micah Richards clip where he's asking Angry Ginge what his name is. He goes, Morgan. Morgan? What? Deary me. That's my awful impression. That is my synopsis of this race. Morgan? Deary me. Right, this will probably be the last race of the stream. I don't even know what time we're on. But yeah, probably be the last race of the stream. Maybe it's one more after. We've had an absolute disaster class so far. Polyphony has took all the fun out of this race. But let's not blame them. We've not been very good on track limits, or I've not been very good on track limits. But now that I know where they are, what they are, for the most part, there's still a couple that got us tripped up in the last one. That is such a nice looking car though, by the way, isn't it? This rather wonderful Porsche. Right, I think we've just got to try and match pace, stay on the back of everybody, and hope for the best. No more track limits. See, everybody just avoiding the apexes like the absolute death. Here we go. Oh, interesting. G saying minus 2 or 3, so 2 or 3 brake balance to the front, which is interesting. Can I ask why? I always end up, just by default, to be honest, I always end up going brake balance to the rear, but I'm going to have that. He's going to have... Oh, he's gone off. Oh! I was trying to give Batch way more space than I needed to. He actually went off there, trying to hang it around the outside. He went off the track, so I didn't need to give him the space. That is good racing, though. We're up to P12. I just normally always now go brake balance to the rear, more or less. But especially on tracks that feel like they demand a lot of front-end grip, or could do with a lot of front-end grip. Oh, 2 or 3 to the rears, that's alright. Well, I've gone all out. I've gone 5 to the rear anyway, which is the norm for me, to be honest. Right, bit of scrapping going on up ahead there, look. You can see everybody desperately lifting once they realise that they're understeering wide. Right, here we go. Here we go. This is our chance. In this race, in this lobby, this has to be our chance. 3 people with penalties further on up ahead. This guy is pushing us probably wider than he needs to, because he would surely be all the way to the right-hand side there. Look at this. Just a batch of Porsches all killing each other. What is this guy doing? Because I can't quite work out his game. This chap here, he's just booted us out of that chicane. So I can't quite work that one out. And he was trying to push us, literally push us, driving into the side of us all the way down the back straight there. So I can't quite work that one out. Oh, we've got some nice lag in here. The servers have been absolutely tremendous tonight. This game's been super reliable. Someone's just ran us wide there. I think we'll probably, if we have the opportunity, we might end up returning the favour there. We'll have that. Oh, he's turned into us there. Right, up to P8 then. Sausage gambler. That's exactly what you are if you're in this race, that's for sure. We'd just gone right to the inside there, and obviously he was trying to V-cut that corner. That is just 2 cars crossing paths on the same racing line there. Going a little bit deeper in that corner because I felt like there was going to be some contact from behind. There actually was a little bit later as we try to cut back. Carry on, carry on. Keep trying to push here. Right, fellow Brit with a penalty. He's going to go to the inside. He's absolutely flown past us there. He might have a penalty there. He'll not be happy with himself if he does. Oh my God. You can tell we're in such shocking lobbies now. And someone else to the inside going to push us wide. We're going to get a penalty for that. I'm telling you now, we're going to get a penalty for that. Luckily we don't. I'm glad about that. Right, 3 cars right in front of us here, all scrapping once again. Now I can't quite work, there's 2 drivers here that I can't quite work out. This Greek fella in front and then Diz there. Because both of them we've had some questionable driving and racing from. I'm going to just go, oh my God, what are they doing? They're too busy trying to actually kill each other there. And then we're going to get hit again. Honestly! Sorry, bud. I'll give you a fright there. Sorry. Onto the soft tyres, end of this lap. We will really struggle to catch back up to those guys now. Honestly, this is horrendous. Pit end of lap 6 or 7. Is there a bit more of a crossover then, is there, do you reckon, G, from the softs? Because I was going to go now to the softs, but do you reckon when they drop off at the end of that these mediums are about the same? We are on the mediums, G. You do know that, yeah? I'm just double checking. We'll give it a go. We'll go a few more laps. Mess that up. Mess that up. Oh, man. Penalty there as well, probably. Damn it. Right, we're back up to catching up to Diz here, who was one of the questionable drivers. I think he should change his name to Div, more like. You can do the softs after pitting end of lap 5. Does that mean that... I don't know which way around you're trying to mean that now. Because we're on the mediums now. Are you saying we should stay on the mediums or be on the softs? Because we managed 8 laps on the softs before, and I think we were probably still good, but I don't know. Switch to soft. Really? Really? I'm not getting angry now because at this point I know that this is a YouTube short, that this is a clip. Look at the state of this. I am getting angry now. Look at the state of that from that stupid man. Stupid boy. That's unbelievable. That is actually typical Gran Turismo right there. What the hell was that? Honestly. What the hell was that? I literally don't believe that. That is actually outrageous. That is seriously, properly outrageous, that. Austin Powers moment right there. I haven't seen Austin Powers, so I don't even get the reference, but I'm sure I have an idea based on based on doing that 28,000 point turn in the pits that I just did there. Felt like that one was right on the limit, that. That's track limits as well. I knew that would be. Why did I still go ahead and do that, honestly? Yeah. Always another race. This is the problem, isn't it? We've had 5 other races in this one. They've all been horrific. So tragic this is. So tragic. I was just going to say, I know that one's track limits. Right, I'm going to back straight out of this race so that I can go do at least one quali lap. So we can start not quite from the back. We need to get out of these really bad lobbies here because this is doing more damage than it is anything else at the moment. That's excluding the damage that I'm doing myself. That's no way to talk about your old man, John. Oh my god, honestly, this is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Right. Just for reference, save that replay again. Oh my god. The game's crashed again. What's going on here? I had a feeling that was going to happen there. This game has crashed yet again. This new update is, I think, made this game very unstable. Because now again, we're going to get into this race. We're not going to have time to do a quali lap again. We just want to have enough time to get one quick lap in between the races without having to do 30 whole minutes of quali. Come on. Nah, not going to have time. Fucking hell. This is horrendous. How much time do you reckon that would gain you in the race if we went this way? If we done that line instead. Now I was thinking actually cutting that corner, like just as a laugh there, just as a laugh. I wouldn't cheat in the race, just as a laugh. See, I can't even cheat. I can't even do that well. Don't be deflated, don't drive angry. This is the problem. I'm raging now. Properly raging. Yeah. Oh, honestly. It's getting so annoying now. Oh dear, right, from the back of the grid once again. If this doesn't let us in here, I have a feeling this will be the end of the stream. That has taken longer than it ever normally does to get us in. Oh, there we go. Right, okay. Right, I'm doing mediums again. Oh, man. It's just getting caught up in everybody else's, like, crap. Right, let's just see if we've got... I don't think we have them in this lobby, but I wanted to watch the replay because the Greek driver and the other guy, who I'm forgetting now, I think he was Dutch, he was called Diz, but we said he should have been called Div. Like, the driving was absolutely horrendous. Why? And then we try and get around them, and we actually did overtake him going into the pits. Then he decides to spin us, or make contact with us into the pits, and then crashes into us as we then hit the wall, and that's the end of that race as well. So we need now, after the worst possible luck, and the worst possible stream, and the worst possible races, and then also the worst possible drive, just in case there was any little gaps where something else could go wrong, I've then went and made the mistakes. So where we've not lost enough time with penalties, where we've not lost enough time with crashes and people being silly and traffic, then I've made up the rest of the time. We've bled lap time on every single race we've done so far. What a nice, lovely looking car that Porsche is, though. Right, come on then. Hoping for the best, expecting the worst, as always. Right. On brake balance all the way to the rear. My usual personal preference. Let's have a good race here. Come on, 5.6 to the lead. Let's win this race. He says jokingly, knowing that if he finishes not last, it will be a good race. Luckily we don't go wide there, but that would have been, or it was, contact. I'll have to decorate that Porsche. Yeah, I bet you'll get a nice looking livery for this one, John. That is it's a stunning car as well, isn't it? Porsches always are, I guess. Right, let's go. Come on. Annoyed that I've let this guy back past us there just when we'd made up a place. Absolute carnage here underneath the hotel. Two people running very wide there. They're going to come back on track. Come on, I can't end up behind this lot here or getting caught in accidents and crashes, because it feels that like that is what is about to happen. Just going to go very, very deep into this corner here. V-cut it. Try and get something on the switchback if there's anything to be had. There is a switchback on batch there. Right, that's good scrapping there. That's good battling that. I enjoyed that. That's nothing wrong with that. I'd rather that than being rammed into the pit lane like we were on the last race. So, not too bad. That is one of the harshest track limits penalties I must have ever had, ever in my whole life, ever. In that case, I genuinely couldn't have been out by literally any more than one single pixel. Oh, mate, that 3-0 for Sunderland. There we go. Well, I was right. Sadly, I was right, saying that they would win. Tiniest little correction there, we're all good. The thing is that we're there alongside, so it's like you can't turn in. Good afternoon from Canada. Midlife, how are we doing? Hope we're all well. Thank you so much for tuning in and saying hello. Right, we're going to end up with a penalty here, costing and losing more time yet again. We're going to end up actually far, far down the grid once more. Maybe it's not as much as I thought there, thankfully. Oh my God, honestly. Again. the wall. Idiots. Well, once again, we've ended up with an horrendous race. And I am fuming. Right, we're now last because whoever was behind, I think that was someone behind us there, that's rage quit. So now we are once again last on the grid. Around the outside, on the switchback, not quite. Oh, he's done well to hold that round the outside there, the Italian. Contact, obviously. Obviously. I'm assuming that was Batch, either that or he's binned it. He's given us the place back, so I think that might have been him there. Yeah, Batch says, sorry mate, my bad. That's all good, we let him off. Slightly offensive, John, slightly offensive. Don't take offence. Oh, that's the best way. Just don't take offence, just give offence. That's the best way. It's moving in the braking zone, is it not? I wanted to see if I could do the trick where if your car's kind of like drifting, sorry, if your car's sort of skidding a little bit, it helps you out. It did not help me out on that one. Very true. Again. okay, this can just get in the bin now. This is really getting the better of me here. And another one for good measure. It's becoming pretty painful now, that's for sure. I get the feeling that didn't actually help on that particular occasion there. Alright. That's alright. I'll tell you later, he's been out, but he's just been asleep since he got back in. He's water's here. Oh. Bye bye, bud. Oh, sorry, I thought you just kicked it. It's going to be track limits again. Yeah. Well, I might as well bin it on the last corner. Might as well bin it on the last corner. Oh, what a horrendous stream that was. What a horrendous stream. I can't have had any number of worse races there. That was horrific. 3 hours of that. Jesus. Jesus. Horrendous. Alright, it's done it again. It's literally keeps crashing. That's obviously a bug within the game now. That you can't save the replays. Very annoying. Right, we're going to end it there. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Absolute heroes. I really, really do appreciate it. I'm going to catch you all maybe back here in the week. I don't think that we have any... there's no races for Nations Cup this week, but we have just finished the Manufacturer Series, so I'm expecting the details for the Nations Cup to be announced and for that to start pretty soon, I would guess. Let me just have a quick double check just to see if it's on here. I'm not sure if it is. But we'll get the dates in if we can do. I really appreciate everyone who's been hanging around, sticking in to the streams when we've been doing the past 3 weeks. We've streamed 3 weeks. Oh my God, get my words out. The past 3 weeks, we've streamed 3 days a week, doing manufacturers on Wednesday and Saturdays as well. There's no Nations Cup just yet, but I imagine that that'll be with us pretty soon, if not next week, maybe it's the week after. They normally follow back to back normally. So there we go. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I will catch you all in a little bit. Maybe see you back here this week. I do want to actually get good at that race, so I do want to be back on for a little bit of practice, but we'll see how we get on. Have an amazing rest of the week. If you haven't done so already, please do hit the subscribe button. All the cliche YouTuber stuff. Hit the like button and hit subscribe. And I will see you all in the next stream. Thank you very much. What a depressing, awful stream. But hopefully the next one is better. Toodles.